my channel. I am so happy that you're here and I'm so happy that you're back. If you're new here, welcome. Please stay for a while. We're gonna have some fun. Okay, so today I wanted to do Am I the Asshole post because every time I see those, I am in love and I am just like on the edge of my seat, just like. So let's read some Am I the Assholes off of Reddit and see what we got. Hazel, what are you doing? Hazel over here growling at the mailman. What are you doing? Okay. Hazel, shh. You gotta make a video. Okay, so I got my handy dandy laptop. So, are you ready? I know you hear stuff. So since we moved, before we moved where we are, it was very in the country, let me say. Very, very, not secluded because we had people around us, but not close, not next door to us, but we moved to an apartment now. And so sometimes she's a little on edge. She's like, what is that? Who's that? So she's still getting used to the new place, but it's okay. Should I start with just like the first one, you think? I don't know if these are real or not. I tried to look up how to know if an Am I the Asshole story real, and they just said to look for, I guess, certain phrases that normal people wouldn't put in their stuff. But how do you know if it's normal or not? Like, some people talk different or really are good at writing. So I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit naive. Okay, so let's read it. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my boyfriend because he wouldn't put my clothes in the washer? So last night, I, 20 female, stayed over my boyfriend's house, 21 male. I asked him about 9 p.m., could I take a shower? He states that he didn't have any clean towels because they were in the dryer. About 10 p.m. rolls around and they still aren't done. So he just tells me to use the towel that is sitting on top of the dirty clothes. I take a shower and my work clothes, scrubs, got wet while I was in the shower. I tell him when I get out of the shower, could you wash my work clothes for me? He says, why do you need them washed? And I said that they're kind of wet from the shower. He doesn't answer. Later that night, he asked me for a head. And I declined. I wasn't expecting that. Because I literally am tired from working, which we are short-staffed and I am the only one there. He gets mad and we both go to sleep. Fast forward to this morning about 5:30. I work at 7. I asked him while he got up from his bathroom break, could you please put my clothes in the dryer? He says no, he doesn't feel like going down there. I just leave after we argue, and while I'm leaving, he tries to put the clothes in the dryer while arguing with me. I just tell him how I feel. I can't really ask him for anything. We argue more. I left and blocked his number. Obviously, I can't ask him for anything, so what do I have him around for? Edit. He doesn't want me to go downstairs where the washer and dryer is because his uncle lives down there. That's why I cannot do it myself. And I do not live with my boyfriend. I was staying a night. Another edit. Sorry, y'all. I'm bad at telling stories. So I think this one's real. He never washed my clothes, period. First, I asked, could he wash my clothes? Then this morning, I asked, could he at least dry them? TLDR. Am I the asshole for constantly asking my boyfriend to wash/dry my clothes after they were wet? And for being angry that he refused? Let's read some of the top comments. He does literally nothing for you but expects sex. Yeah, you dodge a bullet with that jerk, not the asshole. Somebody, the original poster commented back, exactly, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I thought I was losing my mind. And somebody else commented, this in the future would have translated to him letting you do all the chores and still work. You dodged a bullet. And then somebody else said, could you wash my clothes for me? Yes, sure. That's the only answer needed. Why he has to do a huge Q&A about a simple task, the least he can do when the original poster comes home tired after an exhausting shift is help her. I'm going to read one more. I literally just got home from an overnight work trip and a breakfast workshop meeting that I was running. Vacuumed the house, distributed the clean dirt laundry, and put on massive wash. 3 kids, 2 of whom play rugby. I love chores, not because I enjoy doing them. I don't. It is how I show my love for my wife and family. I don't expect anything in return. This is me pulling my weight when I know my wife is super busy. Wasn't expecting that. She is worth it. You are worth it. Period. So my thoughts is, yeah, what is he there for? He knows that his uncle already lives downstairs and it's uncomfortable for you to be doing normal stuff, because I've had to do that before. Like if I'm over a partner's house, I had an ex-girlfriend, and not with my fiance that I'm with now. He always helped me and stuff like that, and she always did too. But it was awkward at first going down there and doing normal things because it's not my house and I just feel awkward. And I also do still need to live and do stuff. So especially when I would stay there 1 or 2 nights, even sometimes 3 nights, it'd just be a lot. So it was very nice when your partner could help you. She has scrubs, so her minimum work hour is probably 12 hours. So after working 12 hours, getting home exhausted, you couldn't even have a towel clean for her because you wanted her to come over. You couldn't put her clothes in the washer or dryer to help her out just even a little bit. And then you still wanted to be serviced. Sounds like you're getting a kid. No. Let's go to the next one. Oh, guys. This is the detox smoothie from Tropical Smoothie. Love this. And they have happy hour. I think it's like 7 to 10. So they take like $3 off of it. So it's like $4 for this big thing. And this is the only, I think there's 3 other ones that they don't put sugar in. And so it's just like a whole bunch of greens, fruits, and healthy stuff. It makes you feel good. So yeah, it's good. I love this. It's my favorite one. All right. My neighbor's home. Ooh. That's a hard one. Okay. I didn't read it. I read the title. This is going to be a iffy. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my sister as her surrogate that her husband can't be in the room while I'm in labor? I, 30 female, told my sister, 34 female, that I don't feel comfortable with her husband being in the room while I give birth to their child. My sister's been engaged to her husband for about 6 years now. And ever since she was a teen, she's always expressed that she wanted to have a family. About 3 years ago, my sister found out she was infertile after trying for a kid for over a year. This was obviously devastating for her, and as her sister, I felt horrible. Maybe a year ago, she had started seeking out surrogates, but after being unsuccessful, she resorted to asking me. At first, I was hesitant, but as her sister, I hated to see her so desperate for a child. So I told her I'd be open and willing with no expense. That's very nice. I want to make it clear that I've never had any issue with her husband, but I made it very clear to my sister before I became her surrogate that I do not want any men in the room during labor, as I was a previous SA victim in which I was taken advantage of by multiple men while purposely put under the influence. Oh, poor girl. Which was extremely traumatic, and I'm still recovering. My sister had agreed to having her husband wait outside, and so I was okay with it as well. But about a month before my due date, her husband called and asked me if I'd request him to not be in the room during the child's labor. I explained to him that I did, and that it was no personal issues I had with him, and that having any men around me during a state of vulnerability like child labor would be extremely triggering. He quickly got mad and said that I don't have the right nor the say in determining whether or not he as the father can be in the room. I told him I wouldn't change my mind, and that even though it was his kid, that I was the one giving birth. He continued to scream at me and abruptly hung up. Later on in the day, my sister had came to my house accusing me of disrespecting her husband and saying that after a lot of thinking, she thought it would be unfair and ignorant to ban her husband from seeing me give birth to their child. I then yelled at her, telling her that it was cruel and selfish how she was willing to let her husband in the room after knowing everything I had gone through previously with assault. She then basically told me that after her baby was born, hold on. Hey, it's okay, baby. I know, the neighbors are home. Okay. She then basically told me that after her baby was born, she'd stopped talking to me for good. It's now currently 2 weeks before my due date, and I am still very persistent on not having any men in the room. And quite frankly, I am fine with not speaking to my sister if she continues to be closed-minded. Am I the a-hole? Oh no, you are not the asshole. You already explained to her the conditions before you even agreed to become her surrogate. You said that you had been SH. She said she understand. And I mean, I don't understand why they would have this many stipulations around somebody else giving them the gift of a child that she so desperately wants, especially somebody so close as her sister. So everything that they are doing is wrong and it is disgusting. Like, girl, and she's already pregnant. She can't do anything. You just have to have the baby and cut her off, honestly. And it's sad to see that this all happened because her husband was being very unnecessary. So I'm going to read like 2 comments from the front. Not the asshole. Be clear with hospital personnel regarding who is and who isn't allowed in your room while you labor and give birth, and don't hesitate to ask for them to be removed if it becomes necessary. Consider having a friend, not relative, there with you who can support you and advocate for you if necessary. Consider also granting this friend temporary power of attorney over medical decisions should you become incapacitated or unable to express your wishes. Sounds a bit fatalistic, but it is better to be prepared. I don't think you want your sister to be calling the shots over your health if there's an emergency, given how dismissive she's been about your needs and well-being. I agree. That is very sad. Somebody is willing, like, being pregnant is something completely different. It is, it can take a toll on your body. It can change your whole entire body in ways that some people can't even imagine. And you agree to do this expense-free, and you are still met with people wanting to control what you already set as boundaries in the beginning. And not because you want to have control over this, but it's because you have been essayed and you have been through some things in your life that it just makes uncomfortable for you. And that is completely understandable. She set her boundaries to begin with. It's disgusting. Somebody else said, I wouldn't even want the sister in the delivery room with me after that little tantrum, and would be having second thoughts about whether or not to hand the baby over if this is how they treat the sister. Maybe they are not the right parents for her genetic child. I don't know about all that because it's not her kid. She's just the oven. Okay. That's sad. Some of these stories are really sad. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay, I found one. Am I the asshole for tearing my friend apart in front of people for saying that her boyfriend shouldn't cry? I was having a girls' night / dinner with a few friends last week, and the conversation came around to relationships. My friend has been dating this guy for 2 years, and he's really sweet. They have been having issues for a little while. I love my friend, but this is her first serious relationship, and she doesn't seem to understand that relationships can be complex and things aren't always going to be perfect. She often complains about the fact that he always wants to spend time with her, isn't manly enough, can be clingy, and doesn't go out as much as she would like him to. Her points are fair, These things come down to personal preference though. The issue is that she is always dragging him down in front of us. She doesn't ever seem to have anything nice to say about him and generally doesn't treat him that well. He is madly in love with her, and so he often doesn't stand up for himself. I feel bad for him, but I also try to empathize with my friend since she doesn't have much experience with dating. Last week, last week she was going on another rant about him, but this time it was completely ridiculous. He had just lost his job and went over to her house to spend some time with her. Halfway through the hangout, he started tearing up because he didn't know what he was going to do and still had student loans to pay off. She started saying how frustrating it was to deal with him that day and that he was too sensitive and men shouldn't cry like that. She went on to say how much of a turnoff it was and that she couldn't look at him the same anymore. Yuck. I told her that she was being extremely unreasonable and that everyone should be allowed to express their emotions, especially after a bad day. Literally. After I told her that it's women like her that have created the mental health epidemic in men, and that if she wanted a real man, she could go find some asshole on Tinder instead. My other friends were dead silent. Period, girl. She was extremely frustrated with me. She was passive with me the whole night and didn't even hug me when we said goodbye. None of my friends have brought it up, and she hasn't spoken to me since last week. Am I the asshole for telling her off in front of our friends? Edit. I'm a lesbian, so I've had a lot of male friends growing up. I've seen firsthand that men can be equally as emotional as women. I've only been in relationships with women, so I've always treated my partner as an equal, mentally, and emotionally, and financially. And I never understood why hetero relationships should be any different. Period. No, you are not the asshole. Let's read some of the comments. Not the asshole. Are you sure you want to keep being friends with this woman? Literally. Somebody said, I just watched this documentary episode on hyenas. Queens is the name of the show. And like, honestly, is the same fucking I'm crying. Somebody else said, either that or they're trash talking her to her friends behind her back. I'm hoping they just aren't talking about it to either of them and staying out of it, because that's the only semi-reasonable excuse for not saying anything. Yeah, because honestly, like, do you want a human or do you want an asshole robot? Do you want somebody who thinks that men shouldn't cry, men shouldn't do these certain things? These are the people that, like she said, that are responsible for that. Like, I can't in my right mind see somebody saying like, oh, he can't cry. He's a guy. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. Complaining that somebody wants to spend time with you. Crazy. Yeah, I'm with that first commenter. Are you sure you want to be friends with this woman? Like, is this somebody that you want in your circle? Yikes. Let's go to the next one. So this is our final one. I found another one, actually this time. So, am I the asshole for making my sister's husband attracted to me? So I, 29 female, and my sister, 37 female, and her husband is 35 male. I'm their surrogate. Oh man, we got some surrogate stories today. We used my egg and his sperm. No, we did not have sex. That's an interesting one. So on to the story. I'm 4 months pregnant, and during this pregnancy, my sister has come to my place almost every day since I found out I was pregnant, as she's a stay-at-home mom to their adopted daughter. She has been very clingy this whole pregnancy, and so has her husband. So last week was her daughter's birthday party, and I went over early to help get ready and just help out in general. My sister left to go get the cake, and while she was gone, he kept complimenting me and kept getting closer to me, which felt weird, so I had to ask him to move, which he did. But he started to do the same thing later on when we were cleaning up. I told my sister about it, and she said she would talk to him. That's weird. So a few days later, she said that it was my fault he was getting close to me, as I've been tempting him with me acting nicer and trying to get close to him and talking to him more. And the way I carry myself, I told her the only reason I'm talking to him more is because I'm trying to be a little bit more friendly than I normally am, is because I'm not trying to have bad blood. And I told her I've always carried myself this way. She didn't believe me and told me I was trying to steal her husband away from her and saying that I'm the reason he's attracted to me. Now she's blocked me, and her friends have been sending messages as well saying that I'm a bitch for trying to seduce her husband. So am I the asshole? No. I would tell your sister to call off her flying monkeys because you definitely do not need to be listening to that shit from her friends. Also, tell her she's deluded to think that you want her husband because a man who creeps on his wife's sister, who's doing them the biggest kindest thing there is not the prize she seems to think it is. So her gaslighting, insecure ass is welcome to him because you are too good for both of them. Then send her a link to this thread and tell her to seek help, or you will send the link to her friends too, because you have zero intention of people talking shit about you when this is down to get her pervert husband. Tell her she better get her house in order. Sharpish, not the asshole. 100%. It's funny how she said those things to you where in fact that it's her husband who made a move on you. The audacity. You gave them a big favor by being their surrogate and now she's acting like that. Stand up for yourself, original poster. Okay, I'm gonna read one more. I hope she's getting paid for this shit. A surrogacy is on the order of 100 to 200K. She should really shut up if that's not the case. Yeah, I don't think that she's the asshole at all. She did nothing in no way, shape, or form. If you get pregnant with your sister's husband's baby because they can't have a baby on their own, what are you supposed to do? Ignore her husband? You're supposed to talk to him more. You're supposed to engage with both of them more because it's both of their baby. How is that coming on to her? Your husband has an issue. And if he's doing it to her, he's probably doing it to other women. So check out your man. Immediately no. Crazy. I want to read one more, but I know I shouldn't. Okay. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for coming with me for reading Am I the Asshole posts. I love you guys so very much. Thank you again. We are almost at 200,000 subscribers. That is insane. Okay, so please don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And keep up with your girl down below. Bye. Love you.